All right, guys, I just wanted to talk a little bit about mental strength. So y'all know I'm a strength coach, but pretty much I train the body. I live in the physical world. I train your legs, your arms, your core. I train the body, right? But sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, what controls that body is your mind. So it is often that when we succeed, it's a result of our mind. If we fail, it's a result of our mind, right? If I drive this car into the curb right now, that is a result of the action and thought that went through my mind. So when I show up in the gym, I want to get stronger. My intention that day is to do X exercise in an intentional way that when I come back the next time to do it, I have more strength and I'm able to move more weight in a better way. So what does that look like from a mental strength standpoint? When I walk into the gym, next time I want to be more able to mentally handle that task. So let's just say that split jerks are really intimidating for me because I have bad footwork, right? So I might have a mental block addressing those split jerks, or having confidence in my split jerks, or believing that my max is still what it used to be because of the inconsistency in my feet. So I could put on my music, get my Eminem bumping, and just go in there and smash it, and that's one way to overcome your mental state. I could be really diligent about lighter weights and easing into more consistent split jerks. Or I could talk to myself in a way that prepared me mentally that next time when I walked in the gym, I didn't have to give myself quite the same pep talk. If I could walk in the gym and say, oh, I get to work on split jerks today, I'm so glad that I'm doing that because it's one of my biggest weaknesses, rather than, oh gosh, I have to work on split jerks again. I hate doing that. It's one of my biggest weaknesses. It's the same sentence, but it's a very different intent. So little changes like that in the weight room makes such a big difference, but not just in the weight room, right? This carries over into the boardroom as a professional. This carries into the dinner table as a family man. Every relationship that we have, if there are mental blocks and we're afraid to say something, we're afraid to do something, then the way that we do it is gonna not be as pretty. It's gonna be anxious, it's gonna be rushed, it's gonna be doubtful, right? We're not gonna have fun doing those activities. We're not going to be excited when we've finished it and accomplished it. Maybe we'll be excited that it's over and done with, but will we actually have a level of pride? Or will we be talking shit to ourselves the entire time because we are not happy with the way that we performed? So you could call this performance anxiety. And yes, it's the same performance anxiety that shows up in the bedroom, maybe for different reasons, but there's people who are watching, who are judging how you're doing, and you are afraid that your performance will not be up to par with their expectations of your physical ability. So yes, that happens in the bedroom, and yes, that happens in the gym. But the story I wanted to bring this back to today, what brought this all on, was I saw a friend who I train with, I won't mention their name, pretty often, they belong to my gym, and their shirt said strongISH. So like this hat says stronger, right? That's like a little bit of a subliminal message, and it's intentional, right? So the strongISH to me is, yeah, I am strong, but I'm humble about it too, and I still have a lot of work to do, and I'm not, I want to be stronger. I know that this is the beginning of my journey, and in the grand sense of the entire world, strong is the person who wins worlds or who qualifies for nationals. Strong-ish is the person who places third at a local meet, right? Maybe gets on the platform, something like that. So again, this person told me that they feel that, yeah, maybe I am strong, but I have so much more strength yet to build that's what this shirt represents to me. About a week before, this person had a t-shirt on that said, kind of fit, kind of fat. And I didn't like that one either. So let's talk about kind of fit. This person just so happens to be a competitive strength sport athlete. They might not be the fittest person but it's a competitive athlete. As an adult, it's not a common thing. And for all reasonable people in this community, the person is fit. And the kinda only takes away from all of the hard work that they have done, all of the diligent hours that they have spent in the gym, all of the preparation, all of the investment in coaching. There's no kinda about it. If you are training for barbell sports, strength sports, you're training to get on the podium, you're training for a specific tournament, you're training so that you can perform for your team, if it is a team sport, you're fit, bro. Don't tell yourself that you're just kind of an athlete. No, you are an athlete. You are fit. You are strong. And the term fat, I mean, we could talk all day about this. But again, I like the idea of you are not fat, but you have fat, right? So I am a human and I have muscle and fat and water and bone. So if you feel that you have a lot of fat, I think identifying as that thing, right? I'll say sometimes I feel hangry. I feel like I am a little bit angry and hungry. But I would never say that, oh, I don't do that activity because I'm an angry person. I just say, in this moment, I feel hungry, and that is bringing on some anxiousness. So if you feel like you're out of shape and you've taken on more fat than normal, I ask you to not say the phrase, I'm so fat, but yeah, I'm carrying around a little extra body weight than I would like to. And it doesn't even have to be identified as this negative thing. When we hear the term fat, we think bad, but that is there to serve a purpose. It's storing energy, it's keeping us warm. So I've put on a little extra weight over quarantine, but that doesn't change who you are as a person. You are still maybe fit, you are still an athlete, you are still a human, and I think all that becomes before being fit, before being fat, before being strong. But the point here is that if you are putting labels on yourself, and I'll talk about a label that I put on myself for a long time, if you're putting labels on yourself that you're subpar, right? If you're going into a strength competition with a t-shirt that says strong-ish, you can't expect to win. And if you did expect to win, then you must believe that your shirt is full of ish. And guess what? It is. So, ditch the shirt, level up, and find an identity, whether that's in your clothing or whatever else, that empowers you to be the strongest person in the room and to be stronger when you leave the gym than when you walked in. And that you can be proud of the fact that you are strong and that you are an athlete and that you are doing the thing, and not selling that short. So again, in my world where that's showed up, and I think that I don't want to preach to you guys and tell you what to do, and if you feel that you're not an athlete and you want your shirt to say non-athletic regular person, then by all means wear that shirt, dude. If that's what makes you happy, then do it. But if you want to be strong or if you want to be fit, then don't get a shirt that says kind of fit or kind of strong. Stronger or Forging Elite Fitness. I know that's a brand name and a tagline for a company that maybe we don't all support for one reason or another. But that phrase encourages confidence. It encourages stepping into the direction of the strongest version of yourself. And if you are somebody like me where you're trying to stay humble in that, then again, I invite you to open your eyes to the areas that you're putting these labels on your own life. For me, if you're following this on Instagram right now, you might notice that my handle tag changed a couple days ago. I have been Skinny Scott all of my Instagram life, and it was spelled with one N on purpose, to emphasize that I am a skier from New York, and that a lot of my content is geared towards that. But it wasn't often received that way. A lot of people just read it as Skinny Scott. They didn't see the Ski NY Scott. So I had a friend recently tell me that I should, throw some periods in there, put a different word in there, try Skinny Strong or Skinny Strength rather than Skinny Scott, because as a man who wants to build a larger physical body, again, bringing back things into this physical world, then I don't want to be Skinny Scott. I want to be Thick Scott. I want to be Heavyweight Scott. I want to be 200-pound Scott. So that identity doesn't match up with who I am. And nobody else gave me that identity. I chose it for myself. So when we talk about playing small, I have been playing small. I have been living a truth that I told myself, whether that was for one reason or another, but I've allowed it to become my reality. And there comes a turning point in a lot of athletes' lives. I feel personally like I am at one of those turning points where I'm just sick of that old me. I'm sick of my old habits. I'm sick of waking up in the morning after skipping a meal and feeling guilty about it. So I wanna eat the dinner, and I wanna show up at the gym and feeling ready to lift a heavier load, not just because my body is more prepared for it, but because I am ready to embrace it. And for me, that isn't an intimidation in the gym. It's an intimidation in the world. I see big, strong athletes. I look up to them in a way that they have something that I wish I could have. The same way many people would look up to somebody who has a lot of money or a nice car, or maybe a great job, right? We're jealous or we're envious, and we think, oh, they must have, a great college education, or their parents probably helped them start their first business, or his wife is such a great cook, I'm sure he's eating organic 3 meals a day. I'm sure I could get that big too if I worked at a restaurant. It's easy to lift weights all the time when you work at the gym, right? So these are all stories that we all hear and we all say, whether it's to ourselves or to other people. But right now for me, I've been telling myself that the big, strong, good-looking, jacked dude is cocky, that he's full of himself, that he's vain, and he's doing it for the wrong reasons. And those are all just projections of my own reality, right? So I was afraid to be strong Scott. I was afraid to be, buff Scott, jacked Scott, swole Scott, whatever it is. So I kind of, if you can't beat them, join them. And it wasn't that anybody was making fun of me for being small. I created that reality. I created the situation where I felt like I wasn't going to get respected as a weightlifting coach unless I used being small to my advantage in a way that showcased it as like, hey, you can be strong and skinny. No, I don't want to be skinny. I want to be strong. And that means being bigger and not small. So stop playing small. Stop throwing ish all over yourself. And take out the kinda. You are fit. You are strong. And you're worthy. That's all I got for you guys. Peace, love, and abundance.